Hi guys, thanks for clicking on the video today. My name is Elliot Forbes and this is episode 25 of Men's Grooming Weekly. We're going to be talking about a new product this week, a texturizing powder to a cream. This week's hair icon is Killian Murphy. Is it Cillian or Killian? And we're going to be discussing whether you should be going against the grain or not when you're shaving. Men's Grooming Weekly is the hair show that nobody takes any notice of. But if you are watching, I'd love your feedback. So drop me down in the comments below and let me know what you think about the show. But first off, we'll be starting from my favorite TikTok from the last week.
Shorty a little baddie. She my little boo thing.
And Shorty got the fatty. Shorty be catching moves.
That right there is why I absolutely love cutting hair. You can see the transformation, and obviously he's made himself look a little bit worse for wear there. He's obviously got his hair wild, he's put his glasses on, he's got the tissue in his nose. But still, the difference that makes, the sort of, when you see someone walk out of the shop with loads of confidence, you can tell they feel great. That's exactly what I love. I love trying to make people feel that way, and that's the main reason why I am a barber, to be honest. And to be honest, I love cutting my own hair and having that feeling myself as well. Okay, into the first part. And this week's product of the week is the Schwarzkopf Got to Be Roaring High Texturizing Powder to Cream. So this is a new product alert. New product alert. I was in a supermarket on Saturday night and to be honest, I hadn't seen one of these before. Obviously, dusts and texturizing powders have been around for a long time, but a texturizing powder to a cream, I was really intrigued when I saw that. Now, you sprinkle it into your hands, it comes out just as it would a normal dust, but then you start rubbing it in your hands and it turns into a real creamy texture. Now, I'm not sure whether it's the moisture from your hands that's adding to that, whether it's the chemical reaction from the movement of your hands, I'm not too sure, but it's quite interesting. For thicker hair like mine, I think it probably works as an addition to a product, so I would normally wear a clay and normally wear a paste. I think if I added a little bit of this towards the end, as in would normally a dust, I think this would work great. As you can see now with it in, it's very dry. It's got a very matte look and a bit too matte for my liking. If your hair often sits very greasy and you struggle to get a matte effect, I think this would work brilliantly with it. If your hair's on the lighter side, this will really add some body, really add a lot of texture, add a lot of volume to the hair. But as with a normal dust, it doesn't give it too much weight. As with most dust products, it's a bit of a struggle to run your hands through the hair. So once it is in that place, it sort of sits there. But if that's what you're going for, then this is a great product for that. Really reasonably priced, around £4, I think, so super cheap when it comes to hair products. I would definitely give this a try. And this week's hair icon is Killian Murphy. Now in at 5 is this longer, looser look. Looks like he's got a little bit of product in there just to give it a little bit of texture, pushed it back slightly. The problem he often has, if he doesn't wear product, it can sometimes sit really flat and lank and not really have any body. But this has a nice separation, which I think he needs with his hair. In at number 4 is this much wetter, groomed style look. Again on the longer side, but as it's more of a wet product, it sits in its place and has a lovely silhouette to it. In number 3 is where it's shorter on the sides, nice and full and long on the top. Just a small amount of product, just effortlessly falls forward. Really tussled and just a very day-to-day look on him. In at number 2 is this great look from Dunkirk. It was really tight around the very bottom and then graduated up so it sits with quite a bit of lengthening through the sides. Really nice amount of lengthening through the top. Cut triangly so it's longer at the front and then shorter towards the back. But as you can see here, it's got a really nice flowing silhouette to it. I love how it keeps that body at the back, but very gently tapers out to the edges. I love it. And in at number 1, what else could there be but the Peaky Blinders look? Now, traditionally, I absolutely despise the Peaky Blinders look, but you can't deny the cultural relevance of it and how big it's been in popular culture. The amount of people that have come in the shop and asked for this over the years is crazy. But the 2 photos that I've shown here are probably as good as it gets. Normally it goes too short, way too high, and then exposes all of the shape at the back of his crown. But as you can see with these 2, it's got much more of a flatter silhouette, a bit more of a squarer shape to it. Doesn't quite eat into the back of the head so much, but still very much a traditional Peaky Blinders look. So there we go, had to be it, didn't it? And today's question is, when you're shaving, why do you not go against the grain? Now, for myself, I have really quite sensitive skin. It's quite delicate. When I was using a cartridge razor with 5 blades or 3 blades, my skin would always flare up. I'd always end up with a little bit of razor burn. I'd end up with some rashes underneath my neck. And the main reason for that was I was just sort of shaving in every which way. I then learned how to shave a little bit more intricately. I would use a double-edged razor and would always go with the growth pattern. And that stopped a lot of irritation for myself. If I was to go up against the grain, I'd be sore for probably 2 to 3 days after. I'd have a razor rash. I'd have that razor burn. Say if I was to go and shave against the grain, I'd probably get 3 or 4 hours extra worth of tightness. But the trade-off would be that I would have 2 days of being really sore. And for myself, I'm more than happy just to feel a little bit of stubble there rather than then having to deal with extra pain and having to sort of feel as though my face is tingling, feeling the burn on my face, feeling the heat. I don't need to have that close to us. So there we go, guys. Thanks a lot for watching today. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to drop a comment down below. Send me a message on here in my social media channels. If you wanted to book a haircut at all, I'm available Wednesday through Saturday at the shop in Soho. And once again, thanks for watching today, guys. Have a brilliant rest of your day. Much love, Elliot.